it's more and more true that the best way to move science forward is in collaboration between academic institutions and companies. But that's a relationship which is fraught with all sorts of complexities.
Most faculty members haven't had any experience in moving a project forward towards translation. Basically, we know how to design experiments, and we know how to put together a manuscript that will just communicate these findings to the public.
A lot of us in academia are taught that we have to pursue knowledge for knowledge's sake. And yes, you should, and that's terrific, and that's a really wonderful thing. But sometimes some of the things that I do have relevance in the commercial world, and sometimes the commercial world can help me do what I do.
And often there's a real barrier in going from this fundamental research that has gotten you pretty far to being able ultimately to show that there's a potential benefit in man.
So the challenge for faculty members is figuring out how to translate their finding in order to have benefit.
Because if you're going to do something in the business world, you can't just take your academic idea and punt it over the net. You have to actually try to understand what it is that they would do when they catch the idea.
I think OTD has a very special role to play in not only smoothing things out and making things possible, but educating both sides so that they can be effective partners.
I didn't know anything about the business world, really, and I had a personal tutor from OTD named Alan Gordon who came over and showed me how the business world works.
The Office of Technology Development makes it feasible to not only to obtain funds in order to further develop the project. They're experts and they know exactly how to do it.
We all feel that our own personal interests are being protected. At the same time, the OTD is going out and trying to make arrangements which will facilitate the growth and development of our science here.
Finding chemists that can help them make better molecules, finding companies that will synthesize the compounds, finding the right partners.
The scientists here are not even aware of all the companies out there that could do this, let alone aware of those that would want to do this, let alone come up with an agreement which would satisfy both parties.
It's very straightforward to get help and advice and guidance on how to take those discoveries that are made within the laboratory in finding the optimal way of moving their project forward.
One hears about all sorts of experiences that people have elsewhere, and I think the community here is very, very positive about the experiences they've had with people like McCall and others at OTD. And I think fundamentally the main issue underlying all that is trust and also competence. Because even with all the best intentions, unless you do things right, unless you negotiate properly, unless you know how to handle the situation, then nothing's going to come of it. So, this is very important, and I think we're very grateful for the support we have, and I think it's very widely felt.